welcome to Freestone Recreation. My name is Liza Allen and I've been teaching here for 5 years. I am going to be instructing some Pilates today. I am joined by Marie.
Hi, so welcome, and like Liza said, I'm Marie Masseling and I'm an instructor here at Freestone too. I teach Pilates and bar, and yeah, we're super excited to be here and super excited to be working out with you.
Okay, so we're going to get started. I also teach muscle conditioning and cycle, but for today we'll be doing a Pilates workout. I'll ask you to sit tall, and when you sit tall, you're always welcome to use your hands behind your thighs and try to really find those sitting bones directly in the center of the glutes so that your body is long from the crown of the head down through those sitting bones, and you're starting in that tall position. If your hip flexors feel a little active, walk your feet out a bit farther. Having your toes off the floor, heels down, should release that just a bit. We're going to breathe in, sitting tall, and then when we breathe out, we will exhale, contracting the spine. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, contracting the spine. Now you're welcome to go at your own pace, and you'll discover that Maria and I will sometimes be synchronized and sometimes a little apart. And that is because I always encourage you to use your own breath and your own body as your timing, okay? If it's available, we'll take the hands away. We're reaching forward towards the feet as we flex the spine, providing counterbalance with those arms. Okay, always know you can stay holding on to those thighs. We're going to move through things a little bit briskly here so we can get it all in. And what I'll have you do is hold this next one back for me. You're either holding here with the arms forward or the hands under the thighs. We'll elevate the arms, keeping them slightly forward of the head, and reach back out. This time, as you do this, you're going to inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, deepen the scoop if you can. Inhale. If you need a modification, I'm going to give it to you. Marie's going to keep going. We're going to reach up with one arm, and we will alternate sides. Breathing in and breathing out. Really listen to your body and choose the right effort for you today. We'll make this next one your last one. We'll hold those thighs. We'll stay back. Lift one foot. Lift the other foot. Softly point the toes if you can. Hands can stay under thighs, or for extra challenge, over the top of the shin. We're going to rock back. We're going to rock up. Rolling like a ball. Okay? Again, this can be done with the legs tightly squeezed in, and it's a little bit more of a challenge. We'll make this next one your last one, and we're going to stay upright here. Open the legs about the width of the mat. If you find those long legs cause you to flex your spine, softly bend the knees, and we'll open the arms out wide. We're going to turn towards you, breathing in, and as you do that, draw the shoulders down, press the pinky fingers towards the floor. Give me 2 little pulses. Press, press. Inhale through center. Exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Remember that the breath is a tool, not a rule, so if you'd like to breathe differently than I'm breathing, that's perfectly fine. Just keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath. We're going to do this 2 more times. This is spine twist, and we'll make this next set our last. Breathing in, breathing out, coming center, inhale, and exhale, release the hands to the floor. Walk your fingers towards the end of the mat, and notice how I'm leaning in with my body. What I'd like you to do is get to where you can go, and then exhale and scoop the belly. Look at the space between the legs. Drop the elbows slightly to release the shoulders away from the ears. This is spine stretch. We're going to inhale, sit tall, let the fingertips glide in towards your center. Exhale, find that position again. So it's a flexed spine position. You are not doing a flat back reach, which would be more about your hamstring flexibility. This is far more spinal flexion, and thus the name spine stretch. We'll hold this next one here. Walk the hands outside of the legs. Bring those legs together. Give them a little shake. Come up. Look right towards your feet. Slowly roll yourself back one piece at a time. And when you arrive on the mat, we're going to reach the arms up to the ceiling. Let's take a moment to bend each knee, stepping one foot after the next. And notice how your back releases right into the floor as you bend those knees. So this is always a good position for you in terms of back comfort And we're going to explore our range of motion, reaching back, inhaling, trying not to let the rib cage lift away from the floor. Exhaling, bringing those hands down right next to your hips. We'll inhale to reach up and open slightly for shoulder comfort. Exhale. Now, as you're doing this movement, I'm going to ask you to explore your ability to keep your abdominal muscles engaged and your back from arching. And if you feel like this is enough for you, you'll stay right here. But if you're up for a bit more, as the arms travel down, we're going to lift one leg to a tabletop. Lower that leg. I encourage you to lift the heel and then push off the toes so that the transition is relatively smooth. Inhaling, reaching back. Exhaling, reaching forward. Now, as you're doing this movement, you might discover that it doesn't feel good. Your back grabs, grips, or arches as you lift the foot away from the mat. Then please do just keep the foot on the floor. Otherwise, we're going to hold whatever leg is coming up. Reach the second leg up to join it. You're at this tabletop and we'll place the hands right on the tops of the knees. Exhale, draw the knees in towards your chest. Notice how your back drops into the floor, your spine is flexed. And then reach the legs as far out as your arm length will allow. So we're inhaling, we're keeping the spine from arching. And we're going to exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, reach it. Your range of motion is your own, so perhaps it's a bit smaller. Okay, we want our abs to be active, but we also want to be in control. No strain, effort, not strain. We'll do one more, and when you find that tabletop position, I'm going to have you reach your arms out and around, hands come under the head. Let your elbows be wide. They don't have to necessarily be on the floor, but you're not letting your arms squeeze the sides of your head. We're going to do a traditional crunch, but we'll change our foot alignment. So lift your toes so you can see them above your knees. Externally rotate, heels together, knees apart about shoulder distance. Exhale, roll up, look through the space between your legs, and then reach those legs, disappear the space, and roll back. So we're going to exhale, round and reach, inhale. Now, if it's available to you, you'll do that same thing, bringing the arms out and back. So you're using that wide position again with the arms, but only if that feels doable. Okay? We're going to go 2 more times. If you feel strain in your neck, you can keep your head down, or you can use the hands behind the head. But we're going to hold this one up. Right from there, we're going to pulse those arms firmly, doing our exercise called the 100, inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. Now, as you do this, if you wanted to, you could continue to release the head and shoulders and bring the legs back out. Release the head and shoulders and bring the legs back out. So I'm going to continue doing that. I'm inhaling back, I'm exhaling up. If you've got it in you, you could even flex and point those toes. Marie's going to continue doing the traditional 100, and we've got about 2 more rounds. This is a very challenging exercise, so I do encourage you to find the one that works best for you. And we're going to let this next one be our last, releasing the knees into the chest, head and shoulders down and back. Find that position that worked for you for keeping your abs engaged but your back happy. Open the arms wide, palms up a little below shoulder height. You're going to rock your knees towards me, right towards that front edge of your mat. Your back wall shoulders should stay on the floor. We're going to rock over to the other side. Let's add the breath. Inhale over, exhale, pause and hold. Inhale over, exhale, pause and hold. Now I'm going to give you some options here. When you pause and hold, you could extend the top leg and then fold it back through and go to the other side, top leg. We're going to keep that going. If that's enough, stay there, but if you want to, you can stretch both legs. Inhale over, exhale, reach. This is your can-can exercise, and we're working really hard not to feel your shoulders lift or any undue gripping in the low back. We're going to go 1 more time each side, and then right from here, I'll have you just bring your feet back to center. Let one foot reach towards the mat, like you're dipping your toe in the swimming pool, but nope, too cold. Inhale, reach. Exhale, we'll alternate sides. I'm going to ask you to, if you need the challenge, flex the foot and reach the heel down. That little change gives you a difference in your effort. If you need it, take it. If you do not, keep the toes reaching. Okay? Likewise, you don't have to go all the way to the floor. So, when you feel your abs tighten and you know going farther would cause your back to arch, you'll stop right where you get that effort you can manage. We're going to go one last time each side. Whatever leg's going down is going to stay down. We'll put the other foot on the floor and reach the arms alongside the hips. Your back is relaxed. We're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, I want you to feel your navel fall towards your spine and an active engagement of your core musculature. Inhale, release. When you do that, exhale, allow the tailbone to slightly lift away from the floor without getting too grippy in your quads or glutes. And then relax back to that nice flat pelvic alignment or neutral alignment. So we'll exhale and just do a small pelvic tilt. Inhale and release. Now I'm going to move my hands so you can see my pelvic tilt. Exhale and inhale. If you have any issues with lifting into a full bridge, this is going to be your exercise. However, if you're feeling up to it, you'll use that as your initiation to roll all the way up onto the shoulder blades, no strain on the neck. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down through the spine, keeping the hips up as long as you can, and finally releasing the tail. Inhale to roll up. Inhale to prepare, exhale to roll up. Inhale at the top, exhale to roll down. So I'm using an exhale on both of the moving parts and an inhale on both of the still parts. Now when you do this, I'm going to ask you to, once you've seen what I'm doing, go ahead and just do a few of these without turning your head towards your computer or television, because I really want you to not feel any strain in your neck. Okay, we're going to hold this next one up, and we're going to change this exercise. So we just did an articulating bridge. Now we're going to break right at the hip crease and drop down in a neutral bridge. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. Kneecaps stay facing the ceiling, weight on all 10 toes. Your foot is like a tripod, so 5 toes and a heel make the points. Big toe, pinky toe, and heel. And you want to feel that nice distribution of weight over those tripods. We're going to do 2 more, and we'll do 1 more. Hold this one up, and right from here, we're going to slightly elevate the toes. You don't have to fully flex them back, but just lighten the weight on the forefoot. And we're going to do small pulses for 8, and 7, and 6, and 5. Here's 4, 3, 2, hold it up, and slowly roll down through the spine. Roll the head and shoulders up, looking right towards the kneecaps. Fold one leg in, fold one leg out. Holding that leg, we'll switch. Breathing in, breathing out, single leg stretch. We inhale, we exhale, we inhale, we exhale. We've got 4 more. And 3. Now I know this is going to be a challenge, but I want you to piggyback right into crisscross, bringing the hands behind the head and rotating to the incoming leg for 8, 7, 6, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Knees into the chest. That should have warmed you up a little bit. All right, so from here, what I'll have you do is ever so carefully, we will bring our hands behind our thighs. We're gonna roll our chins towards our chests, looking right at the kneecaps. Taking a breath, exhale, lift the head and shoulders, and when you're up as high as you can be, reach your feet firmly towards the mat and bring yourself to an upright position. My toes are on the floor and it's still slightly flexed, and we're going to see if we can extend one leg and then the other leg. Now, you can sit up a little taller or you can be very flexed, but watch out for shoulders around ears, so keep them sliding down the back. And then if this is really doable and you want to take them both, you can. Okay, so up to you, one or both. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to roll back, roll up, stretch one or both legs. Roll back, roll up, stretch one or both legs. So you can continue holding on to those legs, or you can add the arms. Up to you. So it's a little bit of teaser meets rolling back. One last time, and then from there, we're going to stay up, reach the feet away from me, and turn to face the front of the room. Legs are wrapped around the side. I'm just going to give you a moment of instruction with regard to your knee. I have lots of people that struggle with this knee position. You can open it up, or you can even take this leg out to the side. We're going to do what's called a mermaid stretch, and that is reaching the arm up, holding onto that outside ankle, both shoulders glide away from the ears, and we just lean towards the feet. Little lateral flexion of the spine. Okay, this should feel good. Now we're going to reach the arm out towards the forward end of the mat, put the hand down and kind of lean into it. That top foot is going to be flat on the floor. The bottom ankle slides right up to the heel. Your hand is here. We're going to either lift up onto the knee, or if it's available to you, you will extend into side bend. We'll do about 5 of these. So we're going to go up and over, and in and down. And up and over, and in and down. Draw those abs in. Watch out for the shoulder alignment. Keep it pressing down. Here comes that last one. And we come all the way back to our mermaid stretch. Now if it feels good, you can take that hand that was holding the ankles, grab the wrist, lean up and over and give yourself a little extra stretch, but still try to have a neck. Good. From here, we're just going to come center. Hands will reach behind you as you swing your legs around to your second side. Using the same position you did before, we'll elevate the arm, shoulders glide down the back, and we reach up and over. Good. Now from here, we're going to bring that hand out, slide it forward, and we do that because when you lift up, let's bring that ankle right behind the heel. When you lift up, the humeral head changes position in the socket. We need that to be a good position for you. Okay, so I am showing option A. Marie is doing the full variation of side bend. You could also just bend your elbow and come up. So if that's a better choice for you, feel free to take it. We're going to do 2 more. And here's that last one. Good, excellent job. Find that mermaid stretch. Decide if you want or need a little more. You can take it or leave it. Shoulders out of ears. Good, from here we're going to bring those hands down again. This time we're going to come into a child's pose or a rest position, okay? Sometimes called shell stretch. I'm going to give you several ways to do it. Legs can be open, arms can be extended, body is resting inside of those thighs. If you prefer a parallel position, take that parallel position, okay? If you prefer your arms be bent so your shoulders can relax, that is also an option. And finally, one hand may rest upon the other with your forehead relaxing on the backs of the hands. So ultimately, you will decide based on what feels best to you and your body. Take 2 or 3 deep full breaths in. And when you feel ready, we're going to come out onto the hands and the knees. Now in this position, we're holding our bodies up, and our hands are ever so slightly forward of the shoulders, simply so the wrists can relax, but not so far forward that your shoulders jump into your ears. So the typical cue is directly under the shoulders, but that does increase your wrist flexion, and some people cannot do that. We're going to have the toes curled with a little pressure into the plantar flexors or soles of the feet. If this is not available to you, please do come down onto your elbows. Okay? We're going to do a pike to plank position, and that is kneeling first, pressing the hips forward, gliding the shoulders down, pulling your abdominals in, and then reaching back. Make sure you are still using the feet. Okay? I'm going to show it from down here as well. So this is an option, piking to planking. Okay? And then if you've got it in you, you'll come to a full pike. You're looking at your toes. You're in basically a downward facing dog. And then you're gonna look at the end of the mat with your eyes, not your chin. And I say that because I don't want you to do this with your neck, okay? So here we go. 2 more pikes to planks. And 1 more. From here, let the knees release, uncurl the toes, find that rest position that you liked. Gently walk all the way out onto the mat. You're on your abdominals, and in this position, I want you to feel a sense of length at the front of the hips. So really reach those legs back and then rest them there. And your hands are going to be alongside the mat, either on it or just outside of it, depending on the breadth of your shoulders. From here, glide your shoulders back, okay? In Pilates, we emphasize our lateral rib cage breath, and all that means is that it's really apparent in this position that it's not comfortable to push forward and down into the mat with your rib cage. So open it laterally, inhaling, expanding, exhaling, drawing your abdominals in. You're going to continue doing that and practice not only expanding the lungs and the ribs on the inhale, but also drawing the shoulders down the back on the exhale. So as the 2 sides of the rib cage knit together and the abdominals pull up, the shoulders gently draw down. You can begin to press slightly into the forearms on your exhale, following those shoulder blades down and those abdominal muscles up and in. So you have this sort of 2-way pull. Your abs come up and in, and your shoulders come down and back. If it's available, we'll go a little bit bigger, starting to lift up to a full extension. Doesn't have to be that high. Each time you come down, I'll ask you to let one leg float up as the nose falls towards the mat. Let the foot fall to the floor as the head lifts away from the mat. Alternate sides. If this feels like enough for you, stay there. If you prefer keeping your feet on the floor, you may do that as well. Finally, you can lift both legs. So this is your swan dive, and it's a very modified variation of the swan dive. And we're going to keep it like this for now. In a future video, I might amuse you with the full thing. Let's go ahead and hold this next one down. And we're going to reach those arms forward. You'll see my legs are up. You can put them down, or you can hold just one up. And we're going to flutter kick. Flutter kick is the full version of swimming. Slide your shoulders away from your ears. If that doesn't work for you, you can do one leg and then the other. One leg and then the other. Or just an alternate slow pass. So lots of ways. Your glutes are active, your spinal extensors, lots of things going on. Yes, your back muscles are working. It should not be painful. We're going to go 2 more times and 1 more time. And right from there, we'll release, bringing those hands under the shoulders, finding your rest position. Good, we're going to come up onto all fours, and we'll finish with just one more little sequence of exercises. Again, if hands under the shoulders is uncomfortable, please feel free to come down either 11 with the arms, 1 and 1, or you can make a little tripod, which is my preference, okay? So from here, we're going to curl one leg back, toes are curled under, and I want you to just shift your weight forward into the toe, shift your weight back into the heel. This should be a really nice little stretch and articulation of the ankle. We're going to slide the opposite arm forward. Okay? And your goal here is to discover your balance position. When you find the position where you feel like you're not stretching your calf and you're not pushing too hard into your wrists, stay there and take that back leg and lift it even with the glute and tap the toe down. Even with the glute, tap the toe down. If you're ready for more, the arm that's forward can reach up, even with your head. Reach it up, even with your head. 2 more times. 1 more time. Right from there, hold. Find the balance. Coming back to that rest position. Drawing that big breath in, feeling your shoulders fall away from your ears as you exhale. Curling the body back up to your all fours position, extending that second leg, toes curled under. Find that nice little stretch in the calf muscle, and then shift forward to the big toe. Gently rock it back. So I like to teach in a way that allows you to decide how far you're going to come with me. So if you're ready for more, slide the opposite hand forward. And that little change is already a good balance challenge. If you're ready for a little bit more, we're going to find our balance point and lift and lower that back leg. Use your breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Abs stay engaged, not letting your back arch, not opening the hip up, just nice and flat. You should run into your own gluteal area and feel that contraction. Add the arm if that's available to you. 2 more of these. 1 more we're just going to hold. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more time. Inhaling and exhaling. Release back into your rest position. Good. We're going to finish with a little bit of stretching here. So I'll have you roll yourself up and then turn to face me and reach your arm out. You're in a sideline position. We have our knees towards the front edge of the mat. Your head is resting down. However, your head could be up if that's comfortable for you, but this is a little easier on the neck. We're going to reach back and take a hold of that top ankle or foot. Use your clothes if you need to. If you have a yoga strap, a tie, a jump rope, you can use that to help too. And you could even just put your foot on the floor slightly behind you to get a stretch. Okay? From here, you're just going to bring it back a little bit more, trying to make sure your knee is not pointed up to the ceiling, but your thighs parallel to the floor. Then we're going to release that leg right in front of the bottom leg. So you just swing it forward. Both arms are going to reach towards me, and then this top hand is going to drag all the way up to the shoulder. You'll pause there, you're looking at the ceiling, and then you're going to take that hand and put it on the rib cage. Let your elbow fall to the floor and try to get a really nice spine twist. If you're really comfortable here and can get both shoulders down, open that arm so both arms are extended out. But if that's uncomfortable for you, either stop with the hand on the rib cage or the hand on the shoulders. That may be enough spine twist for you. From here, we're going to just come towards the front of the mat. Bring yourself up. You're almost in your mermaid position again. We'll swing it around to the second side, lying all the way down, knees forward towards the front end of the mat. Take a hold of that top leg. Okay, drawing a deep full breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you need a little more stretch, take that leg slightly back. Remember all of the options. You could use various items to hold on to the foot besides your hand, or just tap that foot behind you. And then as you're ready, use an exhale to release the foot. We'll bring it just forward of the bottom leg, reaching both hands out. Sliding that top hand up to the shoulder, looking at the ceiling. That may be enough spine twist for you. You ready for a little more? Hand reaches to the rib cage, elbow reaches to the floor. And the final variation was full extension of the arm towards the ceiling, and we're breathing. On your next exhale, roll back towards me. Sit up gently. We're going to sit with the legs crisscross and the shoulders are just relaxing. Hands can be on the knees, palms up, whatever feels good to you. But we're going to take a deep full breath in through the nose. Exhale and let it go. 1 more time, draw those shoulders up. Exhale and just last breath in. As you exhale, just say Nicely done. Thank you so much for joining Maria and I today. There's another one coming, so hold on to your hats. There's more Pilates action for you.